Hello.
Hello.
This about to be the ugliest recording yet.
I mean, it's always ugly on my end, so.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's like this is the difference between Mac and PC. Um, Mac is like hyper detailed, but also really grainy. I
Hmm.
don't think we've ever had a clear, non-grainy recording from my end. And then on your end, it's never grainy, but it's always very like soft focus, smooth blend. Like,
That is true. That is true. Mine is soft, but very bad quality. And yours is
yeah,
good quality, but grainy. You're
yeah,
like an old-timey movie.
yeah, yes. We are
I
both old
want to,
timey movies in just very different ways.
oh my God, yes, yes. I really want to get another like web camera, because I really want to like,
Oh my god, a webcam. It's very '05. We
oh
should
my
do
God,
that.
yes. Because I want to Twitch stream.
Oh, true. Yeah. I want to start in. So
Yes.
you
Oh my
know.
God, we're e-girls. I should actually look that up. I'll do that later. I have to do this first.
Honestly, though, a webcam would be very 2005 chic, and I think that's my brand.
I
And I need to
know.
lean in. I need to lean in. I really do.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we're recording this time, unlike last
Yay.
time when we tried to talk about Umbrella Academy, which was a travesty. We talked
That
for
was,
30 minutes and no
we
recording,
did.
and I was like, I'm gonna kill myself today, right now. Uh,
It's okay. We got
it's okay.
this.
Yeah, we did this. So, and
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Monsterfuckers Anonymous. My name is Randika, and I am forsaking 2019 to live in the past with my
apoplectic.
apocalyptic lover.
um, Hi, my name is Carmen, and this week I fucked the love of my life, but by assuming my brother's form and pretending to be him for the duration of the time that I was with the love of my life. Um, and welcome to this week's episode meeting of Monster Fuckers Anonymous. Woohoo!
Woo!
Um,
And today we're talking
this week,
about the Umbrella Academy
the Umbrella
Season 2.
Academy. Season 2 was a lot. Season 2 did a lot of things.
There was a
Some
lot happening. Some good, yes. Some
and some
bad,
bad. Some that we didn't agree with, and some that we
yes.
wanted more of. And we're
Let's
gonna
start with the
dive right
bad so we can
in.
end on like a positive note.
Yeah, that sounds good. So, it was very traumatic as a
Yes.
season. I think compared to season 1, which was like the thing about season 1 was it's not relatable trauma. Like none of us are children who were born on a single day who were raised by a slightly sadistic,
I mean,
like sadomasochistic, psychotic father who adopted all of us and then
it was
raised us to be
also
like crime
probably an
fighters.
alien.
Yeah,
But
like that's not us.
I think though, like this, like last season, it was more like, how does our childhood trauma like bleed into our like adult lives and how
Yes.
it like kind of shapes who we are? And it wasn't like very like in your face, but like in season 2, there's like a lot of like traumatic events that are like, bam, right in your face.
Yeah. And there's also a lot of stuff that's like, oh, this is what homophobia looks like, and this is what racism looks like. Like in season 1, it was like this completely unrelatable issues that were like sad, and if you're empathetic, you like had emotions while watching them, but it wasn't like, oh wow, like that's me. Right. But season 2 is a lot of like, oh, this person is getting hate crimed. Um,
Yeah.
so we'll get into that. One of the things that I noticed kind of when I was first watching was like the Allison storylines were just very wrapped up in her being black, and then like
Yeah.
as soon as it wasn't relevant to the plot, it just disappeared completely.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
because once she joined her, like, her whole time, like in like the 1960s, before she met her family, was like civil rights organizing, and then like
Right.
when her family, like she met her family again, it was just like
Yeah.
drop the ball. So it's just like, it was just such a gratuitous depiction of like
Police violence.
racial violence, and like especially like the riot scene that was just
Yeah.
like
Way
way
too
too excessive.
It was just like weird. So it's like they're like, okay, so if a black person was in 1960s Dallas, this is what their experience would be. Probably, you're right.
Yeah.
But also I don't think every single black person in 1960s was a
Civil
civil rights
rights activists.
organizer. I don't think everyone was like, that. I don't know. It's just like a lot of stuff that happened that was like felt very like, this is a token. This is the only black person that we have in the cast. We need to have them experience all of the token aspects of racism, because otherwise, when
Yeah.
they're not doing justice to the storylines of people who experience those things in real life. And it's like, we didn't need to expose her to every single racial horror of the 1960s. Actually, that's sort of
Yes,
unnecessary.
exactly. And they didn't show much of her, like, well, it did show her relationship with Ray, but it wasn't like a lot of her like normal life in Dallas, because like
Right.
with
Her daily life.
with like Luther, he like kind of hangs out like in the bar and stuff, and like
Yeah.
we don't see
Talks to
like,
people, does stuff.
yeah, we don't see Allison like going to like a like black space and like doing fun things. It's just like
Yeah.
her organizing for civil rights, which is like weird.
Yeah. So it doesn't show like, there's very few scenes of like black people as a community outside of
Mhm.
like organizing, which is really weird because like people hang out with each other. Like um black people are people, obviously, so black people then should also be hanging out like people do. But in like this media that Hollywood presents to us, it's like, no, black people only hang out with each other when they're like preparing to go to a civil rights riot. Like,
Or
what?
face
Or
racism.
like it's just like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So it's a very clear blind spot for the writers there, especially
And
considering like Lila, like she doesn't face any kind of,
yeah,
as far as we can
exactly.
see, she doesn't face any racism in 1960, and she's like a brown South Asian woman. Like, someone's gonna say something to her, and like nothing happens because it
Yeah,
wasn't necessary for the white writers to write that. They're like, oh, that's not necessary to write into the plot.
exactly. And also, like, moving away from race, like the whole plot point with like Vanya and Sissy, I thought was just like very excessive, because he started out just as like a absent absent husband, and that's
Yeah.
like fine. He's not like abusive. He like takes care of his wife. He's just like very absent, and all of a sudden he just turns
He's
into
like,
this like crazy abusive guy. I'm like,
yeah,
this didn't need to happen. He could have just
yeah,
been this like apathetic absent guy.
right. Which isn't, it's not completely unthinkable, but the fact
Yeah.
that they were like, lesbian storyline, it has to be traumatic.
Yes, and the man has to be the trauma, the source of the trauma.
Right. Because like, we watched it and we were like, we at the ending when Sissy's like, oh, if you take me with you, can you promise me a normal life in
Yeah.
2019? And Vanya's like, no. And then she says, well, then I'm going to stay here with my son, because I can't, if you can't promise me a normal life, then I'm not going to go with you. That's heartbreaking.
That should have been like the entire plot with them.
I didn't need the scene where he shot his wife and then shot his son, or tried to. Like, I didn't need that.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
need, like, he could have not existed entirely. She could have been a single mom with like a mentally divergent son. Like, that would have been fine.
But no, we
have
always have to put a man in the middle of things.
And he could have just been a normal guy. He could have been like, oh, you don't love me, and you couldn't love me, and that's okay. Like, he could have just let her go also. But no, it had to be like super, I don't know.
Bad.
It's the same thing with like Klaus and their whole storyline too, like the gay storyline, where he's like, first of all, that was creepy as fuck, because that child was like 17 when he signed up, and Klaus is here like, I love you, like fully a 32-year-old man. I hate that. Like, they were the same age when they were in Vietnam.
Yeah.
They're not weird. The same age now.
It like, okay, like I kind of, yeah. I thought it was like, I just thought it was weird, because I feel like they just needed like a single scene with like David, like, don't enlist. But like, no, there's like it was just too much.
They trotted him out 7 times, and then there's like lots of homophobic insults and like violence ensued. I'm just like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
those are the bad. That was the bad.
those were bad. Everything else was great. This was an amazing, good.
There was so much
great season of Umbrella Academy.
There was just so many iconic moments between like the siblings. Just obsessed.
Yes.
And also
the dancing.
Lila.
Yes. I couldn't go nowhere. Sorry. Yeah. No. Lila.
Period.
Amazing. Astounding. Iconic. Legendary.
So, like, such a good like anti-hero.
Throw up on it. Shit on it.
Put it in a blender.
Put it in a blender. Not afraid to reference or to not reference. Bus. Another bus. Club.
Bus.
Everything about Lila was perfect. Her storyline, iconic. Like I don't know. If we're gonna talk about, I guess, racial violence done right, I don't know that there's a right way to do it, but that feels like the term. Like, she's adopted by a white woman. How? Because the white woman murdered her parents.
Yep.
And it's frightening, and it appears for one scene, and then it's gone. And it's like, it informs so much of their relationship because the mom is actually super abusive, and like
she doesn't tell. Yeah. And she doesn't tell Lila anything. So, like, Lila has this, like, whole false reality, like, in her head. And, like, the whole time, bang, the handler killed her parents. Exactly. That was done. Like, I was rewatching, actually, the scene where, like, the reveal of that Lila's the handler's daughter. That was just so good. She was just like, Mom, can I order room service?
That was great. Oh, my God. Yeah. It's so, like, of course the handler was abusive.
Yes,
of course, the way that this happened, like, it's just, it's things that are supposed to the things that were supposed to make sense made sense. You know what I mean? In this particular area. Like, it was just so smartly done.
I know. And I just loved how, like, the siblings, like, worked together and also didn't, like, how they, like, mess things up, but also, like, their interactions and, like, all of that was just pure gold. Like, from 5 getting, like, mad at them for not showing up on time because all of them were, like, captured or, like, doing all this other stuff. It was so good.
Yeah, like, you could see them learning how to be with each other again because they had it in the entirety of season 1, and, like, at the end of season 1 do they finally get together. And so in season 2 it's about them actually rekindling their relationship as a family, I feel like. And
also with Vanya this time, because like the whole, like, last season it was just like the 5 of them without like yes no yes
that woman lives in my head rent free. Sorry. But yeah, the 5 of them or whatever.
But now
Vanya,
it's like,
and then now it's
all of them trying to work Vanya into this, like, relationship and, like, repertoire they have with each other.
The dance scene was so cute. Oh my god,
very wholesome.
Klaus and Vanya and Allison. But
also, like, Klaus, just like, if you have to say technically, that was so funny. There were so many hilarious lines in the series.
You have to say technically. I forgot about that one. Yeah,
I'm your daddy now. That killed me. What else? There was just, like, so many funny lines. Just like, no, bro.
In general. Also,
oh my god, that was so funny.
So Ben, like, possesses Klaus's body to have sex with the woman that he's in love with in Klaus's cult, and then he says to her, "Wow, oh my god, I can't believe we finally had sex." And she's like, "What do you mean we had sex last week?"
on the swing.
And
there's 2 other people, and then Ben's like, I'm baby.
So that was iconic.
That was
oh my god, Scene Kid Ben in the new 2019. That's
Scene
exciting.
Kid Ben.
That's
Scene
news.
Kid Ben.
That's something.
I'm, like, very excited to see what, like, the Sparrow Academy will be like. Obviously, I feel like Reginald is going to change up his, like, parenting style maybe, but, like, I'm really excited to see what powers they'll have.
Oh yeah, it's going to be different powers. It's not going to be Lila's going to come back at some point.
I really hope she isn't adopted by them.
I don't think she will be because she's got her own timeline that she stole.
Oh yeah, that's true. Cause like I don't know, like I was thinking like will there be clones of their like other like will there be like a
No,
Klaus? I don't know. I hope
I
not,
don't
because I
think
feel like
so. I think it'd be interesting, but I don't think it will be
I
because
hope
they live in
not.
their own timeline, so they can't. I don't know. I think it doesn't. Anyways, I don't like that.
Yeah,
This is
like
why I have issues with time travel narratives because it's always tricky.
yeah, we'll see. Well, I mean like it's not even time travel. It's like a whole new timeline. What if they didn't exist in
Right,
this
time
timeline?
paradoxes.
Yeah,
Right.
but
Well,
like
like
I'm
yeah, it's
just
like
so I want to know what they're like. Like I'm already like,
yeah.
will they like team up with them? Will they be like enemies? Like, oh,
What's
what's
the new
gonna happen?
villain? Yeah,
What's the new villain?
I need I need to know what Reginald Hargreaves is doing on the dark side of the moon because it's. I knew it was important in season one
Yes.
because, but like Luther had gotten this whole complex about how he realized it wasn't important, and I was like, no, but I think it is important because
No,
something's going
because
on here.
all of his other like family members were like doing stuff on Earth, and he was just like
Yeah.
stuck on the moon for like so long. So like he felt it was useless. But like now that we
Right.
have the reveal that Reginald is not of this planet, we'll
Yeah.
see what that means.
So it's a mystery that we're excited to unfold.
Very
Yeah.
excited.
It was just so like Klaus being a fucking cult leader sends me.
I was
Like yeah,
obsessed with that.
I think they did a lot of good, interesting things. Like Allison's narrative when she took her husband and they went on the shopping spree like with her
Oh
whisper
my god, that was
power.
amazing.
And like that's one of the things where it's like this could have mostly been the stand-in for like your civil rights plot because like I think sure it's important to tell the storyline, but I think it's also like important to not re-traumatize black viewers of the TV show who just want to watch the show and not
Yeah,
be like, oh,
yeah,
this is going to be a historical thing that I'm also going to see like very graphic police violence. Like
exactly,
it's just kind of a
exactly.
lot.
Especially given like the time period as
Yeah,
well, the time that we
right.
live in.
And
Yeah,
like,
that
sure, it was filmed a year ago, but they could have edited it
yeah,
a little bit.
absolutely. And like that scene, I think we talked about this before, but that scene was really
Yeah,
good because
the
like
hot coffee scene. Yeah,
because initially it's just like wow, like you can make anyone do what you want, and that's like oh,
mm-hmm.
that's so fun. We can do all of these things, and
Right,
then you can also use it for like bad.
right, and like cause people to harm themselves. And then that's just like the thing. It's like, yeah, oh, you're gonna like say that I can't eat here because I'm black. Like I can't eat at this lunch counter. Okay, well, I heard a rumor you poured hot coffee on yourself, and then like his hand is like gets like second-degree burns by the end of it, and it's like,
Yeah,
was that evil to do? Maybe. Was he
it's
being
a
evil?
yeah,
Yes. Like I don't know.
it's a
Um,
very like
and like yeah, like you can see her husband having issues with like, wow, that's like a lot. Like you should just like calm down. But it's also like at some point just retribution, and like I think that's like something that like you want to talk about like what's
absolutely.
the right kind of retribution, and less like here's something you could have seen on the news at 10 o'clock, but now we're going to show it to you on your favorite TV program. Why?
Yes. Yeah, you nailed it on the like nailed it. That's nailed it.
But yeah.
I I think another thing, this is completely unrelated. I did not care at all about the Swedish guys. I mean, like they're cool, but I don't think of them often.
Why were they like just the gay porn vibes were
They were
deeply embedded.
siblings.
I I can't lie about what the screen is providing me to see.
You're right.
And it just
Yeah.
looked fucking weird. And like then he's in just in his undies, like cooking dinner or breakfast. I was like, what is happening?
And the
Like
thing,
none of it
they
made
went
sense.
for like a very interesting route with like Hazel and Chacha, who are very talkative and chatty,
Yeah,
and then you have like this stark
they don't
opposite.
say anything.
They don't say anything.
And I was like, I guess you're right. They are the Hazel and Chacha of the season.
The
But I
opposite
wasn't
vibe.
the opposite vibe, but like they perform the same service. Like there's someone out to
Yeah,
hunt you.
yeah, yeah.
And for that, I guess I'm grateful. It was just fucking weird. Like a lot of weird shit happened with them that I was like, what is going on here? I think the most important thing was when they forced Vanya to go with number 5, and that was it. So I get that they needed to be there, but like they kind of
Wait,
dragged.
I don't remember that.
No, yeah, they're an important part of the plot. Just to drive, they just drove the plot.
Yeah, they did.
Because if
I
you're getting
did.
shot at, you have to do something. They made
Yeah,
Vanya
that's
go
true.
with number 5, and then there was something else where they were doing something else because the handler told them to, and then he realized the handler double crossed, and then she shot the handler. Like that was it.
Oh, that was the end.
So
Yes, that was the like final battle
yeah,
scene. That battle
yeah,
scene was also very cool.
that was
Forgot to talk
iconic.
about
That was
that.
very
Like the
iconic.
final battle, so cool.
And Lila suddenly like displaying that she has all of their powers because she can mimic their powers. That was so
That was
good.
so cool. Like the way that she like used their like powers against them. That was like I wish that there was like more of that because that was like such an
When she
interesting.
punched the fuck out of 5, like
The scene where she rumored Allison back. That was good.
yo, that was scary as hell. And then
That
the
was
only reason Allison recovered, I think, is because Allison has the same power.
interesting.
Like if she had said, "I heard you stopped breathing," or whatever, like I think she wouldn't have been able to like. I don't think she would
Stop.
have been able to recover. Yeah, stop it. But it's like because she had the power, it took her a minute, but she was able to like not die from it. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't think about that. That was really. I wish there was more of that because that was really cool. But the way that like
Yeah,
all of the commission officers like bam dropped,
yeah,
that was
that
so
was
cool.
good. The other thing. Oh, what was the other thing? Oh, the Hargreaves dinner. Ah,
Oh my god,
that dinner when you
legendary.
punch yourself in the face.
Klaus getting like possessed, like
I'm Ben.
everyone like
It's just so like, yeah, it was funny. Um, them as a family is so cute, honestly. Big fan
yeah.
of Vanya.
I love Vanya. I do love Ben. I love Ben. The scene where like Ben is telling her she's not a monster.
Oh my god, Ben and Vanya. Someone said, no, you sent me the tweet.
Yeah, the Azula and Zuko.
If Zuko had said this to Azula, the game would have been changed. No,
I
you weren't a
know.
monster. You were trained to be like this because of our dad. Ah!
Yeah. And anyways,
Finding me on the
us always coming
floor.
back to Azula. If
Always.
this is why Azula did nothing wrong, because she was trained by her dad to be like that, just like Vanya was.
Stanzula.
Case in point. Uh, there was just I'm just so excited for the next season. I'm just filled with
This
anticipation and excitement.
this was one of the most exciting seasons of television I've watched in a very long time, I
I
feel like.
agree. Yeah, it was
I have
so
not
action packed.
yes, I have not been like, oh my god, I want the next season right now in like a long time.
Yeah, me too. For like sometimes I'm like, okay, like there aren't many like unanswered questions and things I want to like
Yeah.
explore.
But like while also having satisfied my itch for the questions I asked previously and also provided me with,
Mhm.
8 hours of entertainment. Like that's
And like good
it's just
content.
rare. Which is
Yeah.
depressing as hell because
And
like
like
we have
yeah. Cuz I'm thinking about like Stranger Things and like I'm like the season and I'm not like yearning for more really. If I get another season, I'll be excited, but I'm not like when is the next season? When is the next season?
I stopped caring about them as soon as I saw the season 3, I think trailer, honestly. When they're like, oh wait, the problem is actually Russians. When the CIA organized the whole thing to begin with.
Yeah, I see. I watched
After
that.
organizing an entire secret like science cabinet underneath the ground in the middle of Iowa, when the fucking CIA knows everything. It was
Giving us
exhausting.
us realness.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was ridiculous.
Umbrella Academy, Stan Umbrella Academy.
Yes, go watch it.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir. Here's Robert Sheehan who plays Klaus. Bonsoir.
I just don't know how he did it. Like, and it was premeditated.
Yeah, he was just
There's
like,
no other way.
yeah, because Ellen Page was just like, hey, Aiden looks like he's stoned.
Yeah, but like,
Klaus, it just bonsoir,
idiot.
bonsoir.
Yeah.
Ah,
I don't know that I have anything else to say. It's just a very good show, and it did a lot
It's
of
so
cool
good.
things.
They're like
And I'm happy.
the way they incorporate music into it is like
Uh,
really good.
the soundtrack was crazy. The
It's so
soundtrack was
good.
crazy.
I love it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with this season. Like beyond happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a blast watching it. Again, I think Netflix should hire us.
I think so too. We have some good takes, obviously.
Yeah, we have the best recommendations. But
We do.
in the meantime, um,
We'll simp
thank
for
you for
Netflix
coming.
for free.
Yeah, thank you for coming to this week's meeting. Do you have anything else to say?
That's it.
Yeah, and remember, it's
It's
always
always okay.
okay to be a monster fucker. Bye.
Bye.